Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this,
All right, welcome to another evening of Colorado High School basketball here in the state of Colorado on ColoradoPreps.tv. I'm joined by Tristan Samuel and also Miss Anna Weissensee, and appreciate you joining us here on a Saturday night in Limon, Colorado. The Calhan Badgers coming in on a doubleheader, boys and girls both. We'll have the girls up front first. The Bulldogs coming in at 6 and 8, the Badgers at 8 and 9, and Tristan and Anna, I tell you, the Limon Badgers on a nice little roll here. They had a good game last night, and up against a tough Calhan team. Very similar in the way that they've had their season come about, but should be a good one tonight.
Yeah, well, first of all, welcome Hoops fans. I think we're in for a great game this evening. Got like you said, a couple teams that hovering right around that 500 number, and the Badgers on a doubleheader coming back after a solid win last night. It's going to be interesting to see how these two teams go at it this evening.
You know, Calhan comes in with a pretty good-sized team. Some kids that I've watched over the years. They've got a Helton girl that's 6 foot, great volleyball player, and those skills, at least what I've seen in the past years, usually have translated to a pretty good basketball season. This year, obviously struggling a little bit, so we'll see what happens there. But they bring a sizable team to Limon, and it'll be interesting to see how we match up tonight. Obviously, Katera Tatum, the one that's going to have to take on Helton. Tatum right now, 12 and 12, double-double for Tatum on scoring and rebounds, followed closely by J.C. Hollenbaugh, who has had a great season come on here lately. And I know Tristan and I have talked about J.C. here quite a bit. J.C. coming in with an average of a 10.2 a game, Tatum with 12.5. Those two have been the ones, along with Seeley Vick, kind of carrying the team this year a little bit in terms of offense.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see on the other side of the ball. It looks like we've got Kayla Parker coming in averaging 12. Is that rebounds a game right there, or is that points per game?
That's points per game there and rebounds per game.
Okay, so you've got Parker for the Bulldogs pulling down 12 boards a game. Will come along with the 9 points. And it looks like Cookson for the Bulldogs putting up 15 points a game. So it looks like we're going to have a pretty good matchup. I mean, when you compare those two players against the two lead scorers and rebounders on the Badgers, I think we're going to have an interesting ebb and flow between these two teams, and getting really close to tipping it off here. And I think it's going to be exciting. Badgers have got it all to play for this evening. They can go to 500 with a win tonight. It is senior night here in Limon, Colorado, so they're going to be pumped up and fired up to get a win. And so we're going to see how Calhan comes out to start this game.
Yeah, a lot of things on the line, including some seeding issues as they go into district play. And obviously for the Badgers, it's a chance to get to 500. When the season started out with few wins and quite a few losses, they've done a great job coming back. At this time, they're going to go ahead and sing the national anthem. We'll go ahead and pause for a break and be right back. All right, nicely done by Katera Tatum and Emma Gady. They always do a nice job for the national anthem. About set to go here, and starters will be announced here, and visitors will be first. I'll go ahead and put those up on the screen for you.
Number 3, a junior, Taylor Ray Gilbert. Number 10, a senior, Nicole Westfall. Number 12, a sophomore, Michaela Parker. Number 13, a sophomore, Morgan Miller. Number 14, a senior, Alyssa Rochelle. Number 15, a freshman, Kylie Renzelman. Number 33, a junior, Brianna Dunwoody. Starting this evening for the Lady Bulldogs, number 5, a 5'8" senior, Katarina Meese. Number 20, a 5'9" senior, Riley Cookson. Number 22, a 5'5" sophomore, Katie Sparks. Number 24, a 5'6" freshman, Kamiko Garnett. And number 44, a 6' senior, Morgan Hilton. And coach of Lady Bulldogs, Jim Elric, is assistant.
There's that big 6-foot Morgan Helton that we were discussing there, and the lead up to the game.
Yeah, great volleyball skills. Last year watched her, and actually last couple of years I've watched her play. And pretty good presence underneath the board, and obviously will present quite a problem, a challenge, I should say, for Katera Tatum.
You're sure right about the height of that team. I mean, Morgan Helton is an impressive looking athlete standing out there on the floor amongst her teammates, but they do bring quite a substantial lineup, 5'8", 5'9", and 6 foot.
They definitely do have a good-sized lineup. I'm going to go ahead and put the lineup for the home team, Limon Badgers, on the screen. And as you can hear in the background, and it is senior night, so they will announce the seniors who will start. And I don't have Sarah Meyer starting.
I think he's intending. Well, they has 6 seniors, and I think he started. I think one of them slid out from. They started last night, and I think he. Who's the one lone senior? Alyssa Reyes.
Alyssa Reyes.
So I think Alyssa Reyes did get a start last evening, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, she did.
And I think, as per previously agreed, she slid out of the lineup this evening to make way for whoever did not get the start last night.
And I apologize, we don't have our camera up and running yet. Hopefully it'll be shortly.
She's up there.
I know she's up there, yep. Hopefully we'll get it before we start. It will be Morgan Helton and Katera Tatum for the jump.
Well, it looks like we're going to be doing play-by-play
There
to
we
start
go.
this game.
Yeah, we'll do the old-fashioned way.
All right, for the tip. Bobbled around a little bit, Calhan controls. They go straight to work underneath. And they come up short.
Oh, and that's going to be off of the Badgers.
Riley Cookson got the ball on the low block, shot a little bit of a fadeaway, and it was just a little too long. And
oh no, they're going to say it's off.
That's off of Calhan.
I thought maybe that either Vic or one of the other Badgers got.
Calhan showing some full court pressure to start the game. Lyman breaking pretty easy over the top to Florek, who consequently dribbles it off her foot out of bounds. And looks like a bit of a rough start for both teams tonight. And Calhan's going to control coming back the other way. Lyman will just pick up in the half court. And there's a toss inside. Gets bumped away, but Calhan still control in the middle of the lane. And there's a miss by Morgan Helton, her first shot of the night. Silly Vic controls for Lyman. She gets it back at the top of key, kicks it left to Linaba. Linaba dribbles to the baseline. Pump fakes and gets called for the travel. Looks like she shuffled her feet on that drive to the baseline, and it'll be a turnover. Calhan will take it out from the baseline.
That's not always like, I mean, this is not a good way to start for the Badgers. I mean, 2 turnovers within the first minute.
Yeah, that's definitely correct. As we see Calhan control, and you're going to get into their offense here. Both teams struggling here to start, looking like they're feeling each other out. As Kamiko Garnett struggles at the top of the key, and ball bounces around and goes out. Lyman's going to control. So as we see, I know you guys can't see the tape right now, but well, stand corrected. There you go. Welcome to the game, Hoops fans. It looks like we have got some picture for you now, so I will stop telling you what is happening, which is not my favorite thing to do. And we'll get Mr. Anderson back on the mic here. And as you can see, Calhan's going to stay with the pressure. Lunaba gets sandwiched in there, and the turnover. Well, that was a pretty shot. That's showing some skill. Riley Cookson going to kind of a running baby hook.
Yeah, Cookson, the leading scorer at 15 a game.
Well, you can see why she definitely has good body control. You know, we've seen a few misses here early, a couple turnovers, but these two girls' teams will settle down, and the game will end up being a lot more competitive than we've seen here in the early going. Just give it a few minutes for these girls to get into the flow of things, and we'll be seeing a good game here.
And that's Helton's first foul for tonight.
And that pretty important as they get Helton in foul trouble. That'll obviously take a big body out of that middle.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch that. You know, the foul count, especially with each team's bigger girls on the inside. It's definitely important to keep your posts involved in the game.
And we do have an interview with Coach Bart O'Dwyer. We'll try and play maybe at a break.
Yes. If you Hoops fans out there have heard anything of Coach Bart O'Dwyer's interviews, they are, what would you say, word limited?
Word limited. They're short, concise, and to the point. So.
You ask him a question and he gives you a direct answer.
He does.
He doesn't really elaborate too much on that.
You know exactly where you stand with Coach O'Dwyer.
We're hoping that at the end of the game this evening, regardless of outcome, that we'll get a chance to talk with the head coach of the Lady Bulldogs at Calhan, Jim Elrick, and get a little bit of his feedback on his season thus far and their 6-8 record. And like I said, obviously that'll be probably a little bit of a different conversation depending on whether they are able to come away with a win this evening or not.
Tatum just drew her first foul.
So 2 fouls apiece, 2 team fouls apiece. 5:45 to go, sorry.
That's right. Yeah, still 0-0 on the board. And there we go, first bucket of the game. Morgan Helton, well done.
And this pressure is causing some real problems for the Badgers.
But also the Bulldogs are very, very, very highly aggressive.
Yeah, they are. And a foul called.
You know, it looks to me, Tim, as though Calhan has, they do have athletes out there. Interesting to see how this game's going to play out. But that pressure does look good. They look disciplined in the pressure. We'll have to keep an eye on the development going forward. Keeping in mind that we do not have, the Badgers' typical starters in the game this evening. Not to say that we don't have talent down the bench, but we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, you don't have J.C. Hollenbaugh in there, who's been a really nice, sophomore, kind of a really, I don't know, a loss of words, basically. He's done a great job maturing through the season here.
Well, she's been a spark plug for this team, I think,
thank
Tim.
you.
She's come along. We discussed it in the broadcast yesterday evening against the Bayer Bulldogs, just how much J.C. Hollenbaugh has come along this season in her player development. I dare say, the Badgers, I think Coach O'Dwyer would like to keep these seniors in for the duration of the first quarter.
Yep.
If they can keep the score at a manageable level for the remainder of the first quarter, I think it'll be fine, and then we can get this ball game going. But it's good, the seniors, it's their last one, and have every right to be out there and showing what they can do in the last game home.
Yeah, offensive foul called on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, on Cookson it was called.
Another little factoid for you, and that is the fact that the Bulldogs do not shoot a lot of three-pointers. Cookson is about the only one that shoots them. About 42 is what she's taken but as a team, they are only shooting 29%. Overall, they've only shot maybe 50.
And there's another turnover for the Badgers. And
Sarah Meyer came up with the ball on that last possession and almost wasn't sure what to do with it. Made a great pass.
Whoa!
Welcome to my paint,
Yeah.
says Morgan Helton to Katura Tatum. That is a big-time block.
It was a big-time block, and that's something that Tatum is not used to. She's usually the big kid on the block, and this time it's not her.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was huge. That's going to be interesting to see if that dents Tatum's confidence going to the basket. Hopefully next time she's in a situation like that, she's going to attack the basket strong. But for you Calhan fans, you have got to be pumped to see that kind of block coming out of Morgan Helton this evening.
Now she is averaging about almost 2 a game, which I'm surprised it's not more than that.
You know, it's a difficult skill for both men and women. It takes a lot of timing to be able to execute and get a clean block shot without committing a foul. So pretty impressive to be averaging that many on the season.
Yeah, that's true.
would you mind telling me on who number 15 is? She wasn't on the roster, so I didn't get it.
15,
Yeah.
I do not know, but I will find out for you.
I'll tell you what, Calhan seemed to be the victim of quite a few mistakes in the early going here. They're looking like the more assertive team at this stage.
Yes.
However, you know, a couple of silly turnovers have cost them on the valuable possessions. They back off their pressure a little bit here, and Lyman's able to get across half court.
And
oh my goodness, there you go again. What do you say?
Wow.
What do you say, Tim Anderson?
Yeah, there's her 2 a game right there.
Calhan fans, you are getting treated to a Morgan Helton block party this evening.
Block fest.
Which is good for the Calhan people, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, Katura Tatum, what she needs to do is she needs to take advantage of that aggressiveness on Helton's part, get her up in the air, you know, give her a fake and make her pay.
Yeah, well, Tatum has been the victim of both of those swats, but you're absolutely right there, Tim. She needs to recognize what she's doing there, maybe throw a pump fake if that situation arises again. And
well, obviously Helton's going to be looking for it.
oh, yeah.
Blockapalooza. There you go. That's what I was looking for.
Very nice.
Oh. And the Badgers cannot break through that.
So JC Hollenboy in the game now?
Yes. She was in for Sarah Meyer.
Okay. So Coach O'Dwyer had enough of the seniors. Didn't look like they lasted the whole quarter, but it's a great opportunity for Sarah Meyer to get the start this evening. Well, fans, if you're just a little bit late to the beginning here, you've been treated, you haven't missed much. We've had a little bit of a pedestrian pace thus far. Lots of turnovers, a few mistakes. We've had huge blocks by Morgan Helton, which would have been sure scores by Katura Tatum. And the result right now is just 3 points to the Calhan Bulldogs and Limon. And just as I say that, you see Jason Hollenbaugh bombs one from deep to tie the game up.
Which JC's been very consistent with her three-pointers and just scoring all the way around us. She scored 20 points last night. I know she was pretty excited about that.
Yeah, she has been, like I said earlier, the spark plug for this team this year, and really matured, come along, provided an additional scoring threat outside of what was initially at the beginning of the season Sealy Vick and Katura Tatum. So it's been quite good to see her come along and mature just for a sophomore too.
Number 15 is Kylie Renzelman.
Wait, let me see that. I need to know how to spell her name. That's kind of scary. I don't know how to spell this person's name.
That concerns me for a lot of different reasons.
Well, it's a long last name. How would I know how to spell it?
Nice fast break there.
That was a good effort, and topic of conversation JC Hollenbaugh leading that breakout, dropping a nice bounce pass to Carolyn Floric for the easy layup. Left hand. Nice to see that.
Exactly.
I like to see the left hand
I do too.
layups. I personally not a very good left hand man myself when my playing days, but it's always good to see that skill. Here, JC Hollenbaugh again.
Oh, nice pass.
Drops another sweet bounce pass on this one. Just couldn't connect, unfortunately. Well, I tell you what, Morgan Helton trotting up and down the floor is an imposing figure.
She is. I mean, she's pretty agile for her size. Definitely got some bulk to her. I mean, she's not a skinny 6-footer. She is definitely one that's formidable.
Yeah, she definitely looks like a well-seasoned athlete. And you said she was a volleyball player as well?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what I love about this smaller schools. You know, during the beginning of the game, we saw a couple of girls from, well, at least Katura Tatum.
Yeah, both from Limon.
Starting center for Limon, and cheerleader singing the national anthem, and then turn around and one's going to go cheer and the other one's going to go play. But the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, kids in these smaller schools, they just play all the sports, they do all the stuff, they do everything that's asked of them, and I just can't imagine how much pressure and that puts on a kid. But you know, they embrace it, they've got all the energy in the world, so it's really good to see, you know, just participation across the board. And I'm sure some of these girls will play softball here coming up in the spring too.
Actually, that's in the fall.
That's in
it's
the
opposite.
fall?
It's opposite volleyball, which is kind of a little causes some difficulty for some of these girls because they would like to play both, but it's difficult.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go, folks. I'm showing my inexperience.
Nope, you're good.
with high school preps. Wow, great move underneath.
And Alyssa Reyes, I tell you what, again, and I've talked about it before, really like the way she has developed. You know, she was a girl that moved in last year, pretty raw, didn't play a lot of basketball, at least at a higher level, and she's really come along well.
I tell you what, you know, I had spoken to Coach O'Dwyer about Reyes in particular, and he was just really disappointed that he didn't have the chance to coach her more. I mean, his senior year, she played a little bit, she missed out, so but you can see that, you know, if she had an opportunity early on, that she probably could have developed into quite a good player.
I agree, yeah. Good size. Oh, nice job there.
Gets her own rebound. Yeah, the moves she made just there, I mean, she made a little spin move on the baseline and got up off the glass, drew the foul. 1 for 2 from the free throw line. But yeah, it's tough when the kids come along and they, you know, just start playing in their senior year, and it would have been much nicer to see what they would have become had they spent a little bit more time.
You bet. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to pay a bill or two, and we'll be back here in just a minute as you are watching ColoradoPreps.tv and the NFHS Network.
There's nothing like the smoky, wood-burning flavors of slow cooking, and now Arby's has the perfect smokehouse taste that you crave. The new Smokehouse Brisket Sandwich features thinly sliced beef brisket that has been smoked for at least 13 hours. Melted smoked Gouda cheese, crispy onions, and smoky barbecue sauce, and mayo, served on a toasted star-top bun. Come to Arby's at 2221 West 6th Street to try it today. Arby's, slicing up freshness.
All right, back here in Limon, Colorado, as beginning of the second quarter.
Oh, yeah, and I tell you what, the Badgers are ready to get after this one. They were waiting for Calhan to come out of that break. They were standing on the floor waiting for him, almost inviting him, come on, let's go.
And there they go. Riley Anderson checked in the game, West. Oh, and there you go, Hollenbaugh.
There she goes. I tell you what, you know, she really has matured a ton. I mean, that just dribbling up the floor right then, her head was on the swivel. She looked around, noticed where the pressure was coming from. made the pass to get out of pressure and got it back and bombed that nice three. As we see Morgan Helton going to work with a little bit of a lob pass. She held out Katura Tatum and went over and scored the layup, and then down this end just committing a foul. So what is that, 2 now on Helton?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, early in the second half, 2 fouls on arguably Calhan's best player.
I don't think they called that one on Helton, actually.
Oh, they did? They called it
on
Renzelman.
And West just made her free throw, and she's going to attempt for her second one.
I apologize, Calhan fans. You don't have any foul trouble to worry about on Morgan at this stage of the game.
Collective sigh of relief.
Yeah, I just kind of glanced down there. I guess I didn't watch the official come and report it to the scorer's table. Just kind of saw Helton's arm swing over, and she trotted away with the guilty look on her face, but she was not charged with that foul, so no problems there for Calhan fans.
And Reyes draws a foul.
Looks like they're going to take the ball out of bounds. Let's get everyone situated here. And there's the post feed from the out of bounds. Turnaround jumper, no good. Looks like Calhan's going to apply some full court pressure here.
And that
it's going to be fouls.
Yeah, Renzelman didn't over the back, I believe.
So that's Renzelman's second.
Now we've got the Limon Badgers in the bonus. Going to shoot a 1-and-1.
That was quick.
Yeah, it's kind of snuck up on us there. Shelby West to the line.
And that's one girl that you do not want to put to the line. West is very consistent with her free throws.
Oh, and you just jinxed her.
She was consistent with her last one. So.
Yeah, it did look good though from the release. Just a little bit long on that one. So where the Badgers seem to be don't seem to be putting a ton of pressure on Calhan. However, Calhan's just struggling to execute their offense and get the ball in the basket. See Limon pushing the ball up. It looks to me as though the Badgers really want to push and force the issue here against Calhan. It's an ill-advised shot there from number 20.
Brooklyn
sorry about that.
Brooke.
Scanning down my list here. Brooklyn. Is that Caton?
Caton. Yep. Brooklyn
Right.
Caton.
Apologies to family members, Caton family members, for butchering the last name there, but I stand corrected. Not Caton or Carton or Caton.
Oh, I'm sure it's been butchered many ways.
And Anderson draws her first foul for tonight.
Caton. Okay.
Caton.
That's all right. I said all those ways the wrong way, and then had to clarify.
Caton.
Right.
5:58 to go here in the second quarter, first half. 11-7.
Sure, our viewers out there are wondering what is wrong with this Australian guy, having all kinds of trouble with the English language.
No, trust me, this guy knows basketball.
There we go.
Universal language, isn't it?
Yeah, let's not get into the argument about who speaks correct English. I think I'm going to upset more people.
No, I'm not going to argue. I'm pretty sure it's you.
No.
I win this battle.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
We will leave that one alone.
Oh, nice drive to the basket there.
By Garnett.
We're really starting to see the game heat up, as I promised Hoops fans. Give the girls a little bit of time to work their way into it. As a beautifully executed flex back cut there by Jason Holman, on-time pass by Sealy Vic for the easy two. I tell you what, Riley Cookson and Morgan Helton do a great job of sealing that player, once a lineman, a Badger, fights over the top to deny that pass, it looks like Coach Elric has really worked on, teaching those girls to stick that arm bar in their back and hold them and look for that little lob pass. Pay attention, Hoops fans, as we carry on here. It's a difficult pass to make, and it's also difficult at this level to see girls execute. Got a little bit of a mistake there. On the substitution was going to be let in the game, but then was held back.
Yeah, that was Maggie Lineber that was about to enter the game. Riley Anderson in the game, along with West Lineber. That's Kelly Lineber, Tatum, and Vic for the Badgers.
So what I was going back to what I was going on about there. They've done a great job that Limon Badgers really need to look at coming across with some help from the weak side. As we see Riley Anderson go to the bucket for an M1. But it's a difficult skill to execute, to get the pass right, because it just has to be lofted just right to get it in the hands of the offensive player away from the help side defender. I tell you what, if Calhan can start executing that pass and getting that ball in that way, we're going to see a lot of scoring by Cookson and Helton on the Badgers. On the Bulldogs side.
And Sparks draws her third foul, so she will be sitting the bench for
And
a while.
I tell you what, Riley Anderson, 56% for the year, doing a nice job on the and one, picks up the three, the old-fashioned way.
I was fortunate enough to see Riley Anderson right before the game. And we see, Cookson down low, strong move. It's good to see. I spoke with Riley Anderson before the game this evening. I asked her about that little jump shot free throw that she has going on there, and seems like it's been effective for her. her response was, I don't know. I just don't feel like I get enough power out of it. And I figure that's fair enough. If it goes in, who can argue, right?
Exactly. We'll have a interview with Coach O'Dwyer by Riley, as I said earlier, on the when we get a break.
Riley Anderson, apparently a budding broadcast major.
Definitely.
Got a little ways to go before that. She's got a little bit more Limon Badgers basketball to be playing, but
yeah, only a sophomore. That's the amazing thing.
It's great to see a kid at that age, have a really solid idea of what they want to do, and then go about the task of learning how to do it. So, and interviewing your own head coach.
Yeah, that's a little daunting.
That takes some guts. So, I don't think she'll have any trouble if she goes into the business interviewing big time athletes, big time politicians. Good for her. But back to the ball game.
Tatum draws her second foul. She set an illegal screen. And I'm guessing she will go and draw her third right there.
Boy, that's not good news for the Badgers.
Yeah, that's a tough call. To me, from my vantage point, it looked like Tura Tatum was straight up and down, and unfortunately, at this level, if you reach over just the slightest bit, you are going to get pinged for a foul.
And she got it.
Cookson very deliberate with her free throw there at the line, and has been pretty proficient so far.
58% free throw shooter.
Good grief, that is, sorry Calhan fans, 58% is shocking. And you said Riley Anderson was in the 50s too, right?
Yes.
Oof. Well, there we go. There's the percentage evidence in itself. Sorry, fans. I guess I have to give you a bit of a disclaimer. I am somewhat of a shooting aficionado. If you
need to learn to shoot, have your children learn to shoot, this is the guy. And we have a timeout, 30-second timeout. And I'm going to go ahead and play that interview by Riley with Coach O'Dwyer, and we'll go ahead and have that in just one moment as we get it brought up. And here we go.
varsity basketball head coach Bart O'Dwyer. What a great weekend for Lady varsity basketball. 2 big wins Friday with Stratton and Saturday an overtime win versus Burlington and a win on this Tuesday against Rocky Ford. What attributed to the girls' success these games?
I thought we played very good team ball Friday night and Saturday. Our intensity level was up to where it needed to be. I think we got lucky with Rocky Ford, but we got a win. That's what was important about it.
Yes, and Rocky Ford was a very close game too. I forgot to mention that. But busy week for the Badgers. 3 games this week. Well, 2 games, Byers and Calhan. What's your game plan going into this week?
Just keep the intensity level up, play good, hard defense, and run the ball.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. Well, good luck this week, Coach.
All right, Riley Anderson, Coach O'Dwyer, and on their thoughts for the game plan for this week. And successful last night, Tristan. And
Yeah, absolutely. Got to be. I'm still a little bit flabbergasted at just how gutsy little Riley Anderson is, interviewing her own head coach in about games that she played in.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there that you can say? It looks like she needs a little bit of polishing, as do I. But good for her. Really good to see that, get that experience.
Oh, nice move by Maggie Linever. Turned to the basket and shot, and on a miss. Tied up. Possession to the Bulldogs.
Both coaches, I'm not sure if you can see this on the film, fans, but both coaches for the duration have been out of their chairs, marching up and down the sideline, barking orders to their teams, trying to get things going here. Encouragement, coaching, it's everything that you would expect from a prep game.
And Riley Cookson with an incredulous look on her face. She thought she was fouled. She got called for the travel.
Trying to give you the entire atmosphere here for those of you that cannot be here this evening.
Just speaking while we're still talking about coaches standing, Coach O'Dwyer he rarely sits down.
Yeah, he doesn't sit down very often.
There's different schools of thought, I suppose, when it comes to coaching. Some coaches, like Coach O'Dwyer, just trot up and down the sideline. Others prefer to sit and do their coaching in the timeouts.
And in the game now is Reyes, and I believe Hollenbaugh came back in. So Hollenbaugh, Anderson, Reyes, Maggie Linever, Seeleyvik for the Bulldogs at the line. Morgan Helton. Katrina Meese, Riley Cookson, Kamiko Garnett. Interesting name there, Kamiko.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen her back in the game since she had a short stint in the first quarter. And she is a starter.
I don't have a number 3 either.
I do not have a number 3. Well, she hasn't done anything yet, so I'm good.
It's interesting to, talked a little bit about it last night in the game against Byers, but Seeleyvik struggled with some injuries this year, a bad twisted ankle. She's continued to have knee problems. I think it was first game back last night, or was it the Burlington game?
Burlington game was her first game back.
Burlington game, first game back, and she is wearing a pretty heavy knee brace on her left knee. Looks like she's still favoring a little bit, but this being her senior year, really trying to give the best effort that she can give for her team. Probably her last opportunity to play basketball in a competitive manner.
Yeah, that's a kid who just throughout her career, just as long as I've known her, definitely has given 110%. She's a tough kid. She doesn't. I mean, when she is hurt, she'll play through it, which has been to kind of her detriment. Watching those injuries get a little worse when she doesn't stop when she needs to.
Yeah, right. That's a lot of kids fall victim to that, especially gritty kids.
And she is gritty.
They just just keep on going. They don't know when to stay stopped. Unfortunately, it can be to their own detriment, and you want to make sure that kids stay healthy. I know that coaches got a lot of effort to make sure these kids are wearing the right kind of protective equipment, taping ankles, wearing knee braces, etc. But fortunately, if a kid says they're ready to go, and
Yeah.
then you got to let them go.
Cookson called on the foul, and Seeley needing a little assistance from.
Giving her tips already?
I'm
There
not
was
giving
some-
anyone tips. Can't give any tips out up here. But Silovic, I have to admit, there, Hoops fans, Silovic was a student of mine in the summer. I think she had a few conflicting engagements during the summer, but we did spend a little bit of time on her shot.
Oh, nobody got in front of Helton, and she was cutting through. And Helton will tie it up.
Unfortunately, it's not a very good example of the product, but she struggled a little bit, and like we've been discussing, she had some problems with injuries this year. So, and to get off of that subject, that was an awesome play, by the way. Riley Cookson to her.
Yeah, to a cutting Morgan.
Yeah,
Helton.
beautiful.
But
Really?
You keep going. Sorry.
No, you're okay. Go ahead.
It's kind of like just being a post player and everything. It's hard to get. If someone's cutting, there's no way sometimes that you're going to get in front of them, especially being 6 foot tall. It's going to be hard to stop her if she's cutting down.
Hey, take a charge.
Take a charge.
I'm
Yeah,
just
stop
kidding.
in front of a
I'm
6
just
foot
kidding.
monster.
Hey. You got to sacrifice for the team.
I tell you what, it is. You've got a point there. It's all about positioning before that play happens, and sometimes you can be in a great position and you can be playing defense really well, and another player will just make an excellent play. That's just the bottom line. I'll tell you what, Morgan Helton's really starting to assert herself underneath.
Yeah, she is.
Yep. Both defensively and offensively, she's tearing down rebounds. She just gets her third block right there. Silly Vic falling victim to the Morgan Helton block party.
17.5 seconds to go before the first half ends.
Well, folks, you've been treated to a little bit of a pedestrian pace game thus far. We've got a bit of a barn burner going on right now. I think these teams are still trying to feel each other out a little bit. Neither one of them's really put the jets on. So we're going to see Riley Cookson with a huge foul, looking to get in on the block party that Morgan Helton started, but fortunately commits the foul. How many fouls is that on her?
3, I believe, on Cookson. Cookson. Yeah, that's her 3rd foul tonight.
Gonna have to keep an eye on that, fans. She's looking to me like an integral part of this team's effectiveness, especially on the offensive end, let alone defensively. So I'm sure Coach Elric will want to keep her out of foul trouble. We'll see if he gives her a little bit of a rest coming out of the half. He's going to keep her in for the remaining 1.9 seconds in this half. Oh, goodness gracious
my
me.
goodness.
Well,
A smidge too much arch there.
So with 1.9 seconds, Bulldogs will see what they can do. And they'll just lob it.
Riley Cookson tries to launch one over her head and then has a giggle about it. And they are going to go into halftime. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Waking up to ash and dust. I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the chemicals. I'm breaking in, shaping up, then checking out on the prison bus.
There's nothing like the smoky, wood-burning flavors of slow cooking, and now Arby's has the perfect smokehouse taste that you crave. The new Smokehouse Brisket Sandwich features thinly sliced beef brisket that has been smoked for at least 13 hours. Melted smoked Gouda cheese, crispy onions, and smoky barbecue sauce and mayo, served on a toasted star-top bun. Come to Arby's at 2221 West 6th Street to try it today. Arby's, slicing up freshness.
Want a new phone at a great price? Then hurry to the Penny Phone Sale at Insignal during their President's Day sale. Choose from select 3G or 4G Android phones for just 1 cent. Dig out those pennies and get to Insignal, your local Verizon premium wireless retailer now. Sale starts February 17th through February 22nd at Insignal, your local Verizon premium wireless retailer. These deals won't last long.
Shop Insignal today in Limon at 1144 Main Street. 2-year activation required. Some restrictions apply. Selection may vary at each location. See store for specific details. For our high school athletes, it's a time of transition, moving from fall sports to winter sports. And Equitable Savings transitions with them, continuing to support our high school sports broadcasts. Equitable home loans are made, funded, and serviced locally. And Equitable's mobile banking lets you do your banking from your smartphone globally. Equitable Savings, since 1954, the same local ownership, the same commitment to our communities. Member FDIC, deposits are FDIC insured to at least $250,000 and equal housing lender. It's time to get in shape, Lincoln County, and participate in Hoffman Drug's annual weight loss challenge. Stop into Hoffman Drug True Value at 900 Main Street in Limon before February 7th to get your 3-person team registered for this community event. It only costs $25 per person, and every dollar goes back to the winning teams. Every 2 weeks, each team will have a confidential weigh-in, and in April, the team with the highest percentage of weight lost wins. So grab your significant other, your sibling, your kid, your neighbor, anybody. Just get your weight loss trio together. The following is an interview with a real high school student currently enrolled at Morgan Community College.
For me, it's been a huge relief, but challenging as well. Makes it so that when I get into a college that I already have my general credits, I can go into something knowing that I've already taken this, I can go further. And I will talk to admissions representatives and I'll say, well, I will be graduating high school with 65 college credits. They look at me like I'm crazy. I'm ready to move forward, and I guess it's been easier, I think, being able to see myself in college thanks to having had college classes. I feel totally prepared, and I really feel like I'll be able to, once I get into wherever I decide to go, I feel like I'll be able to just start. I won't have very many questions. I'll just be able to go.
To get a jump start on your college career, log on to morgancc.edu or drop by their Limon office at 940 2nd Street.
All right, back here in Limon, it is a 16-16 game as the Lady Badgers and the Lady Bulldogs in a dogfight, no pun intended. Actually, I don't know.
A Badger Bulldog fight.
There you go, Badger Bulldog. And as always, our coach of the Limon Badgers boys basketball team, Coach Dirk Peterson, on hand to fill us in on all the exciting details of his night last night. Coach, another close one, but as we said off the air, it's a testament to the kids, their character, and at least that's the way I look at it, and also a testament to coaching too. So congratulations on that win last night.
Well, thanks, Tim. Down 5 with about a minute and 50 seconds left, and
is that deja vu all over again?
Yeah, it's almost exactly like it was over at their place, and the same as it was against Stratton, but. Tristan Rubisam hit a big shot for us, and then Gavin got fouled going to the basket, and we were able to get it tied. Had a shot at the end to win it. Didn't go in, but then when we got to overtime, we got off to a great start in overtime and got ourselves a lead, and then kind of hung on from there. Made some free throws down the stretch, but the kids keep fighting, and they could. It is a lot of credit to them because they keep believing. They don't get their heads down. They keep thinking the next one's going in. So a lot of credit to just their determination.
I got to ask you, Coach Peterson. We called the game over there in Byers last time, and like you just said, almost identical situation, tied up. And as we're calling the game, I wondered if you would have maybe run a play this time for little Matt Florick, since he hit that huge shot going in to win the game down there. Or no, was it to tie up the game?
No,
it was to win.
He made the shot to win.
It was the win, except looks like you put the ball in Gavin Liggett's hands and let him go with it.
Yeah, almost the same scenario. We didn't have Matthew on the floor this time. No rhyme or reason why or why not. A lot of it was, over there we had the ball with about 40 seconds left and trying to play for one shot and a little better ball handling in there. And this time I think we had it with about 20 seconds left, so a little less time. But I'll put the ball in Gavin's hands for a last-second shot any day of the week. And he didn't make it last night, but there'll be times where he does. And,
oh yeah.
They got 3 guys running at him and still got off a pretty good shot.
Sure did.
When they come running, the time before it's when he found Tristan in the corner for a wide open 3. So, he played well last night, and I thought we got some good contributions from Luke Meyer. But, Matthew if it's like that tonight, maybe I'll put him in there just for you, Tristan.
There you go. Yeah, when we see him go in, we'll make sure that give a look back there. Coach, we got Calhan coming in tonight. Interesting team here. Always a dog fight, and again, no pun intended, when the Bulldogs come in here. What do you expect tonight?
Well, they're very big. They have three or four kids,
yeah.
6'4", 6'5". Sometimes their best offense is, throw it at the rim and go get the offensive rebound. But, they've been playing better as of late. They have a new coach, so it probably took a little while to get used to what he wanted to run and what his philosophy was and things like that. But, they're playing better, and, it seems like every time we play them, it's a pretty good game. And, they'll cause us problems because of their size. We're going to have to rebound the ball really well tonight and just play the way we know how and get out in transition and try to tire those big guys out.
I haven't seen the rebounding numbers, but it seemed like last night really aggressive on the rebounding, ready to mix it up with the boys underneath, and it seemed like they just rebounded better last night, more aggressive.
Yeah, we've been doing better overall in every game, rebound the ball. The only time since we got back from Christmas where we just couldn't seem to find a rebound was at Simla. But other than that, we've battled on the boards pretty good. Last night, especially in the second quarter, we kind of own the boards on both ends of the floor. And when we can do that and play solid defense, then, we can be a tough team to beat.
All right, Coach, we're going to go ahead and let you go. 54 seconds to go here. Good luck tonight.
All right, thanks, Tim.
All right. Coach Dirk Peterson of the Limon Badger boys basketball team, always gracious to give us a few words of wisdom, and appreciate that very much.
I think, for those of you that don't know, that don't get to see Coach Peterson, he's much like myself in the fact that he is follically challenged, and I think that game last night probably caused a few more of those follicles to just quit producing hair. It was definitely a tough game. And
well, I'll tell you what, this season with all the close games that he's had, he's taken a few years off his life, I'm pretty sure. So,
all right, looks like we're going to get back underway here between the Lady Badgers and the Lady Bulldogs.
We're going to go ahead. I'm going to have Anna go ahead and run through some stats real quick.
All right, Anna, go ahead.
I learned, because I'm not the best at keeping rebounds.
You're fine.
Limon has 17 rebounds, and Calhan has 15 rebounds. Tatum, they have shut her down completely. She has scored 0 points tonight.
That is an amazing stat.
Yeah, amazing, right?
I mean, especially when she's averaging 12 and a half a game.
Yeah.
And what does she have for rebounds?
I don't. I have her at like. What I've kept is 5. I think I have her at 5.
Okay. All right, back to action.
And that puts JC Hollenball right there. She's our lead scorer with 10 rebounds. Not 10 rebounds, 10 points. I can keep running through those real quick. Okay, so for Reyes has 1 point, West has 2 points, Flork has 2 points, Anderson has 3 points, and Hollenball our lead scorer with 10 points. For Calhan, Cookson has 6 points, Garnett has 4 points, and Houghton has 6 points.
Oh, nice shot there by Cookson, too.
Make that 8 points for Cookson.
Yes.
All right, thanks for that statistical update, Anna.
And that's 4 blocks by Helton. She just blocked Hollenball.
And that may be a contributor to Katura Tatum's lack of productivity this evening. She really just got faced a couple of times in a row there by Big Morgan Helton on a couple of big blocks. We'll see how this half plays out. It's always a tale of two halves. But, if that is the case, then that is credit to Morgan Helton for putting her team in a position to, stifle one of Lyman's leading scorers.
I think Tatum's kind of used to looking down for people.
Yeah, I think, we talked
and
about
when you
that.
see it face to face, I think it's kind of
that's daunting.
a little, yeah. I can do, the Badgers have 10 turnovers so far, and Calhan has 8, so they're not very far behind.
Can you give us the rebound stats again?
Rebounds, let's see if I have rebounds.
So 10 turnovers.
I know Helton, I've been trying to keep Helton's and Tatum's for sure.
Just team rebounds will be fine.
15 for Calhan and 17 for
and a three-pointer.
Lyman. And that puts JC Hollenbach to like, what?
13.
13 points?
So
I was going to say 11. But
interesting for you Hoops fans out there. You see the score after that three-pointer, but we're tied, which is, if you pay attention to stats, a lot of coaches will focus less on, shooting percentage is huge, but they're going to focus more on defense and turnovers. And part of that defense is going to be rebounding. So rebounding and turnovers are always really telltale stats in basketball games.
If you could give me an idea of what you consider to be an acceptable turnover amount, what would that be per game for a team? Most coaches and pundits alike will say, as little as possible. I want a quantitative number.
At the preps level, you want to try and limit your turnovers to less than double digits for a game. If you're being able to do that, then you're playing at a high efficiency level. That's not always the case. Typically in these high school hoops games, you're going to see anywhere from 10 to 15 turnovers throughout a game. A lot of times, especially early in the season, as kids are really feeling out their roles and their positions on a team, you're going to see turnovers, in the high teens, sometimes as high as 20. And it just also can, the ebb and flow of the game and how that goes. A particularly good defensive team is going to create more turnovers than most. But, generally speaking, the turnover battle, whoever wins the turnover and the rebound battle is typically going to win the game.
Yep.
And the scoreboard, you could almost watch those two statistical categories and get a really good feel for how the game's going. So as I started to say that, we had eight turnovers for Calhan combined with 15 rebounds, while Lyman had 10 turnovers and 17 rebounds, and the game was tied at that point.
Yep.
So you can tell it's nip and tuck both on the scoreboard and both in those statistical categories.
yeah, but fouls is also because Cookson drew her 4th foul here in the 3rd quarter, and Gilbert took her first, and Seeley made her shot for one of her free throws. And so, that doesn't help putting Cookson at 4 fouls. It's never helps anyone.
Well, definitely going to hurt the Bulldogs. Obviously, leading scorer and one of the second leading rebounder. That's going to definitely hurt.
Yeah, and that's a testament to playing good defense. There's another block there. I'm gonna pay that one to Morgan Helton. She's having.
I think so.
What's it? I haven't seen her career numbers, but this is going to be getting close to a career night. What's that? 5 blocks now.
Yeah, I'll see if I can pull that up for you.
Slow motion replay.
Actually, no, not slow.
No.
We're going to pull up her stats. Actually.
Oh, I'm sorry, folks. I didn't want to.
And I will have the ability to do that.
And Sparks
Later.
draws her 4th foul, I believe. I think it is her 4th, but it may have been her 5th. They're saying it's her 5th right now, but I believe it's her 4th. That's what I have.
Katura Tatum makes the first of 2.
Okay, her high on blocks is 8 at Peyton in a
good grief
79-28 loss.
Wow. She has 5 on the evening this evening, folks, so she could be, unfortunately for Badger fans, of course, she could be well on the way to breaking that record that she has against Peyton. I'm sure Badger fans are hoping that's not the case.
A blocking foul on Floric.
I'll tell you what, Limon have been really executing a nice little backdoor play the last couple of possessions. And it's going to be interesting to see how Calhan responds to that and guards that cutter. We'll have to see what the next option is for Limon. Calhan, Katura Tatum gets her own one back.
And then, oh boy, then they both get tied up.
She's like, I'm not going to get left out of this block party. I want a little bit too.
That was Katarina Meese. And looks like it's going to be the Bulldogs' ball. Possession arrow.
Katarina Meese.
Meese, yep.
Meese. Pretty good at these name pronunciations there, Tim.
I know a lot of these kids, actually. You live here long enough, you start to know these kids because they're,
JC Hollenbaugh with the steal.
A lot of my daughter's age, that's part of the issue, too.
Part of the issue.
Issue, yes.
I didn't know knowing people was an issue.
There's that little back door. Okay, there's the second. Okay, so the second stage, the second step in that little offense is a little handoff.
You know, and Shelby West taking it in there. Obviously, she wasn't going to make it. She was far short, but credit, it's taking the aggressive stance and trying to draw the foul, and she did.
All right.
She got it.
Shelby West. I think that makes her 2 for 3 tonight. Is that right?
I can. Oh, here, I'll just do this
our
this way.
stats guru here.
Yeah.
Free throw percentage is 60. So I'm guessing that's like around 2 for 3.
I think it's going to be
it is
50% now.
Yes.
At 25-18 with 4:46 to go in the third. Oh boy, and the Bulldogs cannot buy a basket right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Limon got away with one there. They gave up a wide open pass to Kimiko Garnett on the short corner, and she was wide open. Got a shot off, just kind of went in and out. Katura Tatum working off. Nice up and under. I'm not sure how she squeezed that one in.
I don't either. I mean, it's a pretty flat shot, too. She must have had a little spin on it, a little English.
She had a considerable amount of English on that ball. But nonetheless, great move. And she's kind of taking it to Morgan. Was it Morgan Helgen that was guarding her?
Yes, Morgan Heltner was the person who fouled her, so that was her second.
And she makes the 3.
Good news for Calhan fans that Morgan is not in any kind of foul trouble. And let's see if they work on trying to get the ball into her a little bit more often here in the second half.
I would. I mean, she's like, 10 times taller than the rest of them.
And that's Katura Tatum trying to seal off the baseline. Unfortunately, pushes the player out of bounds.
And that's bad news for Limon fans. That's Tatum's 4th foul tonight.
Coach O'Dwyer's going to sit her for the remainder of this quarter, I dare say, and save her up that last foul for the final.
Yeah, Reyes
quarter
will
of the game.
come in to help her out. And Morgan just...
Boy, she's a beast in there. She is going to work. Puts one up off the glass, gets her own board.
Okay.
By the way, I think that was the largest lead of the night for the Badgers. It was 10.
Kelly Lineber, left hand layup down the lane. I was just wondering to myself as I was watching that play develop, where on earth is she going?
I was going to say, and I'm not even sure, is she left-handed?
No, she is not.
That's a credit. Wow.
You know, us Slenderbers, I mean, we all like dribbling left-handed.
Oh, I tell you.
We're all weird like that.
Morgan Helton continues to work out down there.
You're just a little stranger than the rest.
What, that I dribble left-handed but she's right-handed?
No,
So you call me strange for doing that?
Hey, that's all right. So 10-point lead for the Badgers right now.
Yeah, like I said, I was wondering where Kelly Lineber was going on that one, and she came out with an amazing little left-hand scoop, and she backs it up with a long ball. She's been hanging out with JC Hollenbaugh a little bit by the looks of things, hitting those 3-point shots. Calhan, a little bit of shell shock right now with their leading scorer out of the game, Riley Cookson, just kind of struggling for where to get some point production from. I tell you what, Morgan Helton's she's working hard to try and provide a spark for her team, but it's just not working out for her right now.
She had a nice pass to Meese coming down the side there. Unfortunately, Meese couldn't finish it. And we'll have a timeout, a 30-second timeout.
We're going to pay some bills, or are we going to stay with it?
No, we were going to stay with it.
Holy cow.
What?
That's insane. Okay, so for the first quarter, Limon scored 6 points and Calhan scored 5. In second quarter, 10 for Limon and 11 for Calhan. 17 points this quarter, and Calhan has only scored 4.
So yeah, that's a huge stat there. They're up by 13 right now, so 17-4 run, or not run, but 17-4.
When they outscore you that much, that's a lot of points.
I tell you what, the Badgers, like I said at the top of the broadcast tonight, the Badgers got a chance to go to 500 this evening. It is senior night. And it was always going to be a tale of two halves and how each of these teams were going to come out after the halftime break and who was going to insert themselves. We talked a little bit about that on the game last night between the boys of Byers and the Limon Badgers. And that game was nip and tuck all the way to the end, as we saw it went into overtime. Tonight, the Lady Badgers have come out and really asserted themselves in this third quarter. See if Calhan is going to make a bit of a stretch run here going into the break and then on into the fourth quarter, see if they can make this game a little bit closer or whether or not Lyman's just going to run away with it. I'm sure Calhan fans are hoping that they can start to find the bottom of the net, Tim.
Yeah, and what just on that and there's Hollenbaugh who will stretch it out to a 15-point lead, but what is amazing to me is the shot selection there for the Bulldogs. I mean, they've got Morgan Helt in the center, and I think she really could take it more high percentage shots. She could take it in and score about every time. I don't know.
I think, and I would agree with you there, Tim. But what I'd say is that you're seeing the Badgers collapsing there in the post. They're not going to let her beat them. And you're absolutely right. They've got to get the ball into her come hell or high water.
Well, with their size advantage, I was thinking that they should take advantage of that, and their shot selection. You'd think that they're a much smaller team, but
yeah, absolutely, and it's a two-part formula. You're absolutely right. She's got to be able to get position, and her teammate's got to be able to feed her the ball with confidence. And I think what you're seeing is that she's getting position, and her teammates are just not looking. And they're like I said, they're looking a little shell-shocked right now. In the last several possessions that you guys have seen here on the feed, the video feed, just kind of loose balls getting knocked about, making tough passes, bad passes. It's all gone Calhan's way thus far until just now. But really just looking quite shell-shocked by this run that the Lady Badgers have put together.
What really impresses me is how J.C. Hollenbaugh, I mean, she's a good offensive and defensive player, but she's smart about everything because she just drew her first foul here in the third quarter, which, I mean, that's awesome to have. Here, I can check for you guys real quick on this.
0 fouls.
She has 1 foul and 15 points.
That's playing some pretty clean ball.
Yeah.
Typically when you have no fouls, You don't commit any fouls. There's some coaches that will say you're not in the rhythm of the game, but
she's in the rhythm of the game.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, it's a telltale sign of one of two things: either you're playing really good defense and you're not hand checking,
yeah,
or you're not playing any defense at all.
and she is playing defense. As again, another steal, near steal.
Well, she stole it and then turned it back over.
That's
well,
right.
she couldn't hang on to it though, so officially can't give her a steal.
Yeah, we're going to see Riley Anderson come into the game for the Badgers. Kind of had this discussion a little bit last night, Tim. If you recall, we were talking about, Coach O'Dwyer. His first year taking over the Badgers, and struggled early, and went on a pretty good losing streak there for a while.
Well, yeah, there were some adjustments having to be made.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's always going to happen. There's going to be growing pains, but we were discussing the amount of talent and youth that he has coming up through the ranks.
Exactly.
And Riley Anderson just drew her third foul as Helton kind of took her out. But
Riley Anderson and Jaycee Hollenborough are two of the girls that we were discussing.
Yep.
As pretty much, obviously some other girls in that mix there, but probably going to be, leaders of this team, going to be the ones to build around for years to come here, as well as
Brooklyn Caton.
Brooklyn Caton.
Yeah,
He's also a sophomore, right? So it's a nice class of sophomores that Coach O'Dwyer has coming through.
Definitely.
You've got Maggie Lineber.
Yeah, Maggie's one that hasn't shown her true potential yet playing varsity. I watched her in the JV a little bit. Obviously a different player there, but she'll get confidence and show her true nature. And Helton, misses a 5-footer.
On the other side of the ball, it looks like Jim Elric is going to be, he doesn't have a really big lineup to begin with here, at least not that he's dressing for varsity. And I'm counting 1, 2, 3 10th graders. At least one of those being Katie Sparks was the starter this evening, and a 9th grader, Kimiko Garnett. So
he's also brought up Kylie Renzelman, a freshman that isn't on the varsity roster showing here, but she's number 15.
So a couple of 9th graders come up playing varsity.
Oh, nice shot by West.
For Coach Elric, which looks like his prospects moving forward looking pretty good as well. Although he didn't have a really big varsity lineup to begin the evening.
All right, at the end of 3, we'll go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be back on ColoradoPreps.tv after these messages.
There's nothing like the smoky, wood-burning flavors of slow cooking, and now Arby's has the perfect smokehouse taste that you crave. The new Smokehouse Brisket Sandwich features thinly sliced beef brisket that has been smoked for at least 13 hours. Melted smoked Gouda cheese, crispy onions, and smoky barbecue sauce and mayo, served on a toasted star-top bun. Come to Arby's at 2221 West 6th Street to try it today. Arby's, slicing up freshness.
All right, back here in Limon. Live coming at you 37-23. Badgers now have extended their lead to 14 points, and we'll begin fourth quarter play.
What I find is really amazing is JC, she has the lead score with 15 points. The next closest to her is 5, and there's 3 kids with 5 points.
Wow. Nice balance there.
And there's the 9th grader, Kimiko, launching the 3.
They get an offensive rebound, and I think, was that Helton? I think it was Helton that got the rebound and put it back up.
Yeah, I missed it, but I'm sure the fans who are watching it intently at home caught that one. So.
And another block.
Never fret, Tim. Riley Anderson on time post feed to Silly Vic. Katura Tatum continues to struggle from the field. She kind of had a little bit of a spark in that third quarter, but just really struggling from the field this evening. And Cookson's back on the floor for Calhan, and she's going to score a layup. I was actually scanning the floor to see if she was on there and looked right at her. She was just kind of camping out on that weak side low block and became the beneficiary of a nice little dump from Morgan Helton for an easy 2.
All right, Bulldogs have narrowed it to 10 points, and now a turnover by the Badgers.
This is, if this trend continues, this is exactly what the Lady Badgers did yesterday evening against the Bio Bulldogs. They had a pretty comfortable lead after a pretty good third quarter and just let the opposition back into the game. But I'd have to say that's probably due, mostly in part to just some youth that Coach O'Dwyer has on this team.
Oh, definitely.
Which is always good to have younger players, too, because then they get that experience.
Yeah, I mean, they got to play sometime, and unfortunately, you don't have the luxury of just putting them in when you don't have a lot of pressure.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that would have been awesome if that had gone down.
Yeah, Cookson with a near reverse.
Offensive rebound, and they scramble for it, and it's going to be a jump ball. You're absolutely right, Anna. Young players need to be able to play and then step up to the plate when their number is called. It provides not only valuable experience for them moving forward, but provides a boost for their teammates to see them go out there. If there are other teammates that don't get that opportunity, right away, they get to see their underclassmen get an opportunity to play varsity, and they step up their game as well. And it really just breeds, good vibes, throughout the entire team, seeing that, maybe if I work a little bit harder, I'm going to get the opportunity. As Cookson launches a 3. Boy, it looked good from up here, folks. Katura Tatum, massive rebound.
Oh, high off the glass. She tried to avoid the block. Changed her shot just because of the size that she was looking at there.
Which also, when you have young players like JC, it helps show, like, me as a junior high kid. I mean, it shows us confidence, and it gives us confidence in what we do as well. Just showing that, like, I'll have JC as a senior. And it gives me confidence to know that I'll have somebody to help me along the way and just kind of, like, guide me in the right direction. And
JC will be a junior next year.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to be a freshman next year.
Oh.
I'm only a 7th grader, Tim.
Gee, Merry Christmas.
There you go, folks.
She's a young lady of, obviously, maturity beyond her years.
Doing a great job this evening. But you're absolutely right, Emma. It's a good observation.
Tatum got away with one there, potentially a foul.
The straight up now.
Oh,
I tell you what, credit Calhan all the way on that possession. They stuck with it. Helton with a rebound and a miss, and then Cookson with a rebound and a miss, and then finally Helton comes up with a basket. She squeaked one over the front of the rim. Really starting to try and get themselves back into this game.
I tell you what. Oh, they're going to call a travel.
Yeah, absolutely, she traveled. She was really got into her move before she put the ball on the floor, and it's a clear travel.
Yeah, 4:48 to go. 7-point difference right now. Badgers letting the Bulldogs climb back in it.
And there's a turnover.
And they're going to go. Boy, 2 turnovers in a row. Back-to-back. 1 for the Bulldogs, 1 for the Badgers, and 2 for the Badgers.
Alyssa Reyes got super excited with the ball there.
I got it.
And committed a double dribble. You don't see that happen too often. But a double dribble it is. But that's 3 straight possessions.
Yeah.
Limon has given the ball back to Calhan, just inviting them to get back into this game, which is going to be great for the Calhan Bulldogs fans that are watching at home. Got to be pulling for your team. There's Cookson. Oh, great look. Unfortunately, just does not pay off.
In will come Floric.
Even with Cookson holding all those fouls, she is not letting up. She is just going after it.
She's playing at full speed. She's not holding back.
It's good to see.
And a timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Coach O'Dwyer has seen his lead whittle to 7 as we started out the break. After the break at 15, And it looks like we're going to pay some bills.
No, I'm just gonna read the fact that the coverage of Colorado high school basketball here in Colorado and here in Limon particularly is provided in part by Hoffman Drug, and Verizon Insignal, Arby's of Limon, Equitable Savings and Loan, and Morgan Community College.
I was looking at the quarter stats, and we scored 21 points last quarter, and they only scored 7. They have scored 7 points this quarter, and we have scored 0, nada.
Who's we? The Badgers?
Yes, the Badgers.
Right.
The Badgers have scored 0 because Calhan scored 7.
Okay. So as we've said, Calhan really asserted themselves here in this fourth quarter. Hopefully for Badgers fans, Coach O'Dwyer had some effective critique for his girls in the timeout. Right now it's looking like a little bit of some stall action, burning a little bit of clock.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. They basically need to run a little bit of time off, kind of control themselves, don't get in a running game with Calhan right now or a turnover game.
Typically, Tim, I've never been a really good fan of big fan of stall.
I know.
At the high school level, look, you do what you got to do to win the game, and I'm sure the fans out there will agree. Frustrating when you're on the other side of it, both as a player, fan. As Jason Holmer makes her first there. But if the rules allow, then, fine. I'm not sure that it'd be a smart idea to institute the shot clock at.
And there's been, I know that at the national level they've talked about making that a shot clock part of the high school game, but there's too many opponents out there not wanting that to happen in high school basketball.
Well, I think the argument, Tim, is it's part of the game. At every other level of the game, college, professional, both here and abroad. The shot clock is part of the rules, and I think there's probably a good argument to be made for some of those northeastern, high school prep teams.
Right.
Having a shot clock. A lot of those kids, they're playing and they're being groomed to go to the highest level playing college. Right. College basketball, and possibly some of those kids make the jump straight to the NBA.
Yeah.
I think the argument holds more weight to not have the shot clock at this kind of level. I mean, we're not talking about kids that are going to jump from 1A high school basketball or 2A high school basketball in most cases to North Carolina or Duke or even to the NBA. So I can see kind of the argument on both sides.
All right.
But we digress.
I was going to say, and a shot clock would have definitely, they would have definitely helped the Bulldogs, but they get the steal and a basket, makes it a 7-point game again. 2:44 to go here.
Well, and that's kind of the price you pay, when you're not focused on putting the ball in the basket. You're more focused on holding it off the other team.
Well, I think you get mesmerized by the fact that you're stalling and you're not in that offensive mindset.
But credit J.C. Hollenbaugh right there for seeing an opening and attacking the basket, and I think that's the idea behind a stall play.
Yeah. It makes you be more patient to see the opening when you do have a.
Well, and that's the thing. As a coach, you want to say, look, we want to run some. We want to burn some clock here. We don't have a shot clock. Granted, so we're going to burn some clock. But if they overplay, if they make a mistake, attack the rim, take advantage of what the defense gives you.
Oh, she'll miss that one. Reyes with an offensive rebound.
They're going to call it foul.
Nice job, Alyssa Reyes. Getting in there and getting that offensive rebound.
Look. Hey, Anna, do we have some stats on J.C. Hollenbaugh from the free throw line this evening?
Yes, I can get those for you really quickly.
She has everything on that iPad.
The only reason I bring it up, fans, is yesterday evening she had a really hard time at. Holy cow! That is a moon ball if I ever saw one.
It was not. I guess it had some artistic altitude to it.
Yeah, part of the struggle for the Badgers down the stretch in their game yesterday evening was from the free throw line. And there's that moon ball again, and she's.
Oh my goodness!
She didn't draw any rim on that one.
J.C. Hollenbaugh is 50% from the line, 3 for 6.
Oh, I thought she was a little bit better from the line, but in any case, Calhan take a timeout.
Oh, wait, pause. Yeah, JC's still. She's 4 for 8, actually.
All right, 30-second timeout. We'll stay with it.
Calhan really made a solid push there, but after Coach O'Dwyer's last timeout and this stall play, the Badgers have really kind of taken control of this game again. They've pushed their lead out a little bit more, and it's going to be interesting to see what Coach Elric does coming out of this timeout. Maybe apply a little bit of pressure. We'll have to see. It's going to be an exciting finish, guys.
Definitely.
And JC may be trying to break her record tonight. She has 19 points so far. I think she's trying, because 20, I know, is her record. She's really excited when I told her she had 20 points last night.
All right, so yeah, let me pull that up. Actually, I think she had 20. She's had 21 points at Genoa Hugo.
Oh, she had 21?
There you go.
Oh, beautiful move there by Katrina Mies. Is it Mies?
Yeah, Katarina Mies.
Did I say Katrina? Sorry,
no,
fans.
In the spirit of the Olympics and the Russians,
Katarina.
There you go.
Beautiful move. Showed tremendous body control on the spin move. Didn't come up with it, but she's going to get two free ones from the stripe. Boy, I tell you what, Calhan needed that. Puts the Bulldogs within 8.
For the season, she's only been shooting 29% from free throws. So she's 50% there. Oh, and that is going to go off and out of bounds. Wow, I thought maybe it was off of Tatum, but they're going to say it's off of the Bulldogs.
We didn't see too much jeering from the Calhan section of the crowd, but as I suspected, we see a little bit of full court pressure from the Calhan Bulldogs here. Floric finally pivots around. She's going to cough it up. Boy, I tell you what, it's just a comedy of errors right now.
It is.
The Badgers dribbling into pressure, being a little bit weak with the ball, and Calhan with a golden opportunity to cut this lead down. Just come up with a double dribble.
And Coach O'Dwyer is trying to get his players set to take on this press.
Riley Anderson, another one of Coach O'Dwyer's young'uns. Reyes tried real hard to turn the ball over. Katura Tatum comes up with it. Good grief. Number 6 this evening for Morgan Helton as she continues her block fest this evening. She's going to get another rebound. Gosh, Calhan fans have got to be really sad to see her playing her last year here in Calhan. She comes up with another layup. She is some kind of ball player.
That's 6-point difference now. And another block. Foul.
Is that 6 on the night? Am I right?
I think
so. 7 on the night.
Cookson just fouled out of the game or was disqualified, as Andrea would say.
Yes.
Disqualified.
And she is listening, so she'll appreciate that.
That's a great effort.
That's good.
You know what? Riley Cookson, great effort. She played the bulk of that quarter with four fouls.
Yeah, and she played aggressively.
Yeah, she came up with a couple of key rebounds. A nice little layup on the backside. As we see Reyes with her moon ball again. At least she drew some iron there. But credit to Cookson. She really gritted it out and gave her team some solid minutes here in the fourth quarter. Just having her on the floor for the Bulldogs probably created the kind of space and separation that Calhan needed, to get those kind of buckets that they needed to get back in this game.
Almost looked like a partial block. And we'll have a foul. It'll be coming the other way. Looks like it's going to be on number 24.
I think we're going to see
14. Oh, you're right. It was 24.
That's going to be on Kamiko Garnett.
Don't go away, folks. This is still a tight game. It's going to come down to free throws.
Yeah, 6-point difference. 1:13 to go here. Lineber cans it.
What is her free throw percentage?
Her free throw percentage is...
One thing that we'll kind of revisit here at the end of this game, fans, is we'll see if I'm right when it comes down to the rebound and turnover numbers. Otherwise, you can all discredit me if I'm wrong. And say this Aussie guy doesn't know a blasted thing about basketball.
33%.
Calhan looking for anything they can get right now. And Limon playing some swarming defense, forcing a terrible shot. But they're going to come up with it. No, they're not. Yes, they are. Oh, they're just, yeah, there you go. And who comes out after all of that little helter-skelter possession?
Yeah, Morgan
Helton comes up with the ball.
And there's Vic's second foul for tonight, which is kind of surprising, actually.
But I got to tell you what, though, you know, while we still see Morgan Helton go to the line to shoot these 2 free throws, that possession took a lot of time off the clock. Unfortunately, Helton not able to make the first of 2, but did take quite a bit of time off of the clock there, and that's going to play only in the Badgers' favor.
Yeah, 48.3 seconds to go, 43-35. And she'll make that one.
Going to see some full court pressure now from the Bulldogs. See if Limon can dribble out of it or pass their way out of it. Silly Vic are going to control. And they break it reasonably easily, but they do take an additional 12 seconds off the clock. Calhan going to try to foul now as Limon playing a little bit of keep away. It's going to be a turnover. No, it's going to stay with the Badgers. I think it's all but academic now, fans. Calhan fans, you got to be proud of the effort and the grit your team gave tonight. You know, Limon fans.
Yeah, I saw that.
Backcourt.
And I think Coach O'Dwyer
does not agree.
He usually doesn't, though.
He usually does. He has an officiating background, yeah, but
he doesn't agree with a lot of things.
43-36, 19 seconds to go. Badgers look to go 9-9 on the season. The Bulldogs will go to 6-9. And 8 seconds and a basket.
There you go. There's Morgan Helton coming up with a rebound and a putback again. It's just really been the story of the night for Calhan. And there we have it, folks. But credit Calhan Bulldogs, you know, great effort. You know, they really came to play tonight, and they just come up a little bit short. I think one of the telltale things in this game was Riley Cookson getting in foul trouble. That had to be a really tough for Calhan to overcome. In the end, not a big point spread on the scoreboard, but Riley Cookson being out of the game, I think, really hurt in the long run. But credit the Badgers for getting back on track here. Couple wins in a row, 3-4 wins in a row.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting them back to 500 on the season.
We'll see. What did Cookson, or are you on the?
I can get a
go ahead and tell me what Cookson has.
Cookson had 13 points. She was their second lead scorer.
Boys basketball team would like to acknowledge their
Do you want me to do stats?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Gilbert had 2. Meese had 2. Cookson had 13. Garnett had 4. And Helton, the lead scorer, was 17 points.
Wow.
Which I don't think it helped that number 22 Sparks and Cookson both fouled out. Sparks earlier in the
if the senior parents could start making
second quarter. Was it the second quarter?
No, it wasn't second quarter.
Oh, it was third quarter, I think.
Yeah.
Freshman this year, Brent Brewer, parents.
So what have we got for totals on the Badgers side, Anna?
Tatum had 5 points. Reyes had 1. Vic had 1. West had 5. Flork had 2. Kelly Leonardberg had 7. Anderson had 3. And Hollenbaugh, our lead scorer for the night, with 19 points.
So 2 short of her all-time career high.
So, and here's what I promised all the fans out there. If I can get Anna to pull this up, I would like to hear rebound and turnover totals for both teams. Pretty pleased with Sugar on top.
Okay, 1 moment.
We're going to just going to give her a little bit of time here to compile those numbers. She'll be right back.
His parents, Stanley and Stella Flork.
So
Oh,
folks,
she's going to check with the
she's gonna
official
get
scorebook.
Official
Jake
scorebook.
Larson, his parents Rob and Stacy Larson.
But I think for Badgers fans,
And Joe Whitensey,
you're treated
his
to a
parents
great
Brad
game
and
this
Tracy
evening.
Whitensey.
Like I said, Tim, they get back to 500 on the season.
Which
Great
is,
effort.
Yeah, I mean, that's a testament to the
juniors,
team. I
Tanner
mean,
Dunaway,
they
his
started
parents
off
Daryl
rough, new
and
coach,
Wendy Dunaway.
come back and they're going to be a force in the tournament, I think.
Luke Meyer, his parents
They'll
Larry
cause
and
some
Lauren Meyer.
teams to really think twice.
Well, and I've got to say, before we get these stats there from Anna, is that with Katura Tatum, the leading scorer coming in, right, and
12 and a half points a game.
double-double a night, averaging a double-double, has a bit of a rough night, only 5 points, not sure of the rebound totals, but 5 points. Coach O'Dwyer's team able to find some production elsewhere. Kelly Linnemer coming up with 7 points. That's pretty big. I mean, we know that Hollenbaugh's been a good scorer for him, but and then 19 points is an exceptional night. But getting a little bit of production out of some other players that don't typically give it to you has been, that's got to be good going into the tournament.
Exactly. All right, so what do you have, Anna?
All right, for rebounds for the Badgers, they had 26 rebounds. And for Calhan, they had 40 rebounds.
Wow.
Most of them made by Helton, I would say.
Wow.
And turnovers?
Turnovers for Limon, they had 16. For Calhan, they had 14.
Okay, so, while Calhan win the battle of the boards by quite a margin.
That's huge. That's 14 difference.
Typically fans, you will see a team that dominates the boards like that really come up with the win, and only 14 turnovers. Really, those kinds of numbers usually translate to a win on the scoreboard. 5-point deficit at the end of the game. Telltale sign. But having said that, and I stand corrected about talking about those stats, and that's an anomaly. It does happen, and hey, I'm human. But I got to tell you, Calhan really, they a lot of rebounds due to a lot of missed shots, and I tell you what, Morgan Helton, huge game, and I think she was playing rebound to herself there, a little bit of tip drill to herself, a couple, 2-3 rebounds of possession. Doesn't usually happen. When you see that happen, usually they come up with the points, they come up with the win. That's a really big rebounding differential to have without the win. Tough to see that for the Calhan Lady Bulldogs this evening, but I'm sure they're going to, even though they go to 6-9 in the season, if they make it to the tournament, make it through the first round tournament, they're going to be a formidable opponent. I would not be.
No, I wouldn't want to play them.
Looking past them, that's for sure.
All right, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I think we've got everything. We got stats, and I think we're set to go to the boys' side. We'll go ahead and stop the stream, and we'll pick it up on the boys' side.